We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpacked. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Subscribe to Boxing Ego. Bob Arum goes savage on Eddie Hearn and DAZN. Calls it Dark Zone and DAZN. Without further ado, roll the clip.
Nobody knows BIVOL. You understand? If a fighter fights his fights on, I call it Dark Zone, nobody watches. And there's also nothing backing it up, because if they fight on ESPN or HAYMON'S guys fight on Showtime, at least there's a megaphone talking about the fight and the fighters. On DAZN, nobody buys, nobody subscribes to DAZN. It is the dead zone, you know? And like I told Haney, when we signed Haney and he went to Australia to fight Cambosa, which we showed on ESPN, welcome to the sunlight. You've been fighting in the dark. And I think it's the same problem in the UK.
Woo! Bob Arum taking no prisoners. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. That was Bob Arum saying he basically saved Devin Haney from the Dark Zone, aka Deadzone, aka DAZN. Now, full disclosure, and I gotta be very clear. I've always learned that honesty is the best policy. And at the end of the day, I want to be transparent with my wonderful audience on YouTube. That being said, Bob Arum is saying the term Dark Zone. And then he gave an example of somebody who recently left DAZN and came to Top Rank, which of course is Devin Haney. And I want to make this clear because I know people look at my YouTube videos and they see the title and then they're just going to infer. Make sure you guys subscribe. But what happens, and I've been doing this long enough to know that sometimes people will look only at the title. You only have 100 characters, so you got to make the title spicy. Some people will look at the title and infer what they want without clicking on the video. So bright and early in this video, I want to make it clear that Bob Arum is not talking about skin tone or complexion when it comes to Devin Haney. Unfortunately, I got to do things like this because there are people in boxing who, again, they go for low-hanging fruit. For one, Bob Arum has a lawsuit pending, and Terrence Crawford has stated that Bob Arum did not prioritize his career because he was a black fighter. But in this given situation, regardless of what you feel about that, in this given situation, him saying Dark Zone and talking about Devin Haney, I really don't think it had anything to do with Devin Haney. But I know how the internet does, and people will just look at the title and see Devin Haney, Dark Zone, and think that it has something to do with that. But that's not what he meant, and I don't want it to even escalate to that in the comment section. Like, oh, why'd he say Dark Zone? He could have said this and that. I really don't think it was the case. To me, I think he's saying Dark Zone in this given situation because the zone is in the dark. He's saying there's no spotlight, there's no megaphone, right? I played the whole clip for you guys. He's basically saying that you're not getting showcased properly on DAZN. And ironically enough, this sounds like somebody else recently who told you all this. The great Ego Stradamus strikes again. I don't know who works at DAZN leadership. I've never talked to Lynn Blavnik, but the whole promotion stinks. We are talking about a company who had a spokesperson like Eddie Hearn, and he was the front man, and he did a lot of woofing. And make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment to the video. Eddie Hearn had a lot of broken promises. 3LW voice. I'm getting a little tired of your broken promises. And Eddie Hearn constantly said things like, we got $1 billion war chest. We're coming. You know, American promoters, beware. This is the American takeover from a British guy, yada, yada, yada. And he has yet to convert and enhance somebody's star power in America that he's been working with. Devin Haney just became undisputed, not on DAZN, but where? On ESPN. Alicia Baumgardner became a champion, but now she has a big fight with Michaela Mayer, which will be, since she's been a champion, her biggest fight and the biggest career fight. The two look like they're at odds and don't like each other. And that's a great fight and a unification. Where is that going to be? Oh, yeah, on ESPN. So Bob Arum is really just telling you everything I've told you on my channel. Name a star that DAZN and Eddie Hearn particularly have produced, right? I don't see it. Canelo's coming off of a loss. So his star power, if anything, hurt. And he's doing charity golf events or whatever he's doing. And Devin Haney had to leave. Alicia Baumgardner has to go to ESPN. Joshua fell off after losing to Andy Ruiz. You know, his profile took a major hit. And then he's coming off of a loss to Usyk. And now it's a do or die type of fight. Caleb Smith fought Baby, you won't pay Canelo and got obliterated. So that was in San Antonio, Texas, and that didn't do anything good for a UK fighter's stock. He took Danny Jacobs to London to get robbed by John Ryder. John Ryder isn't a big star. He hasn't converted. Billy Joe Saunders retired and now is unretiring. Got his eye shattered in Texas. Like, whose profile has he built? Triple G's been in lackluster fights, and his only decent competition has been Deryevchenko, and that's a fight that I thought he lost. His last fight was in Japan. So it's like, who is he converted into a marquee name and or star? So Bob Arum, like I said, he's at the age where Bob Arum been in boxing longer than me, Eddie Hearn put together probably. Right? So at the end of the day, Bob's unapologetic. He be on demon time and just goes savage. And he's telling you facts, though. You know, the only downside is Beterbiev looked great, knocked out Joe Smith Jr. in a 2-rounder and obliterated him, demolished him, demo job. And Beterbiev versus BIVOL is my favorite fight at 175 because I really don't look towards Canelo to do what's right and fight the top 175 champions, either Beterbiev or BIVOL, or even a guy like Zordo Ramirez. I don't see Canelo stepping out and fighting these big guys, former champions, current champions, etc. So the best fight is Beterbiev BIVOL. But with this being said, you know, I don't know what BIVOL's contract is like. If he can get the Beterbiev fight, I think it would have to be on ESPN. Look at what Bob Arum is saying. He's saying you get no exposure on DAZN. So why would he send Beterbiev, a 3-belt champion, to DAZN to fight a 1-belt champion? And Beterbiev has at least been on ESPN and PBC. So Bob Arum's cooking. DAZN, they don't have a linear network. So they don't have any great legendary marketing strategy. I can't even remember the last time where I was just watching regular TV. You know, anything, whatever people watch, right? Reality shows or the news, Rachel Maddows, and you seen a DAZN commercial. So it's like, how are you expecting to be the Netflix of boxing, as they so-called put it? You have no, like the Golden State Warriors, I watched the finals on ABC. So you don't have the rights to big sports, hockey, Stanley Cup, the Warriors versus the Celtics. You don't have some of the biggest acts like Gervonta Davis, Errol Spence. If Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight, that won't be on DAZN, etc. So without major sports, without, you know, with a bunch of fights in Japan or Switzerland or wherever, what, you got a bank account in Switzerland there, boy? This whole like takeover is sounding ridiculous. So Bob Arum is, you know, just being realistic. It's dead zone, dark zone. Devin Haney, he got more exposure in a fight people want to see, and they're going to run it back. And they did a better job. I thought ESPN did a better job with Devin Haney, at least promoting George Kambosos, had great crispy photos, had some shoulder programming, etc. So it's looking bad for DAZN, because how do you contend? How do you compete? Your biggest stars like Canelo And Anthony Joshua, they're talking about Anthony Joshua is about to fight in Saudi Arabia, you know, so most likely it will come on a time that benefits Saudi Arabia as opposed to US. And then again, as Bob Arum and myself have been saying, you don't have a linear network. Just like he said Al Heyman, they got PBC. He said Showtime, but he didn't include Fox. But Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz Jr. is on Fox and Fox pay-per-view. So that means they can use their outlets, Fox, to blow up and hype up and create shoulder programming and run ads during other Fox programming to advise and let people know of their fight. So it's like DAZN is just, they got to be hemorrhaging money, because so far, how do you compete with Fox, Showtime, and ESPN and you're unseen? You have to have an exclusive app. This is not like Amazon Prime that I use every day. This is not like Netflix or Hulu, where all your favorite shows are on Hulu. You missed the episode of something, you can turn into Hulu. DAZN is not like that. And they don't have enough programming, like I've said, from day one. So how's that sustainable? And the thing is, you got a guy like Canelo. Okay, let's say he's a star, but he just came off of a loss. And now he's golfing. And there's no golf coverage of Canelo at these events. So it's not like Stars, where you order Stars because you want to see Power and the spinoffs or BMF or whatever. So how do you get people to stay tuned when all you have in America is really kind of the boxing? And there's only but so many fights that Canelo Alvarez can put himself through training camp and fight. There's only but, like Anthony Joshua, as of me recording the video, we're 6 months into the year and Anthony Joshua has not even fought one time yet, right? Canelo fought once, but how many more can he squeeze in right now? Maybe one more fight at the end of the year, right? So it's just like, what do you do in between that? Versus like Netflix and HBO, they're constantly doing new movies, Netflix films and Netflix studios and this and that, and HBO's coming out with brand new Game of Thrones, or they'll do this, and if this don't work, like I heard there's a bunch of Game of Thrones spinoffs. So this is the reality of the predicament that DAZN is in. Bob Arum's right. This is dark zone. This is dead zone. You need sustained. We live in a TikTok society, a microwave society, where people have attention spans of newborns, like newborn toddlers. So if people, let's say you bought DAZN for a month, you have to have a strong line of programming to make somebody buy the annual package, or say, hey, this is enough content that appeases me. You have to have enough documentaries and shows to sustain in a society where attention spans are increasingly shorter and shorter, where things like Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts are now becoming more prevalent, where people want to just go through a timeline and scroll little 4-second, 3-second clips. So DAZN, they're in between a rock and a hard spot. You're putting all your stars in, different time zones, like Triple G in Japan and Joshua in Saudi Arabia. How is this supposed to work? So, in a sense, Bob Arum did bring Devin Haney to the sunlight and Alicia Baumgardner. Let me know how I did in this video. We unpack. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you needed gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description, customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.